The bridge of the Zalthari flagship Eternal Dominion hummed with the usual efficiency of a species that had conquered 300 star systems. Commander Vexthor stood at the central holodeck, his forearms crossed in satisfaction as he surveyed the tactical display. Another primitive system, another easy acquisition. Sir, the scanning officer chittered, her translator clicking nervously. We're detecting an anomaly. Vexthor's eyes narrowed. In his 2 centuries of service, anomalies usually meant biological hazards or stellar phenomena. Nothing the Empire's shields couldn't handle. Specify. A vessel, sir. Unknown configuration. It's small, approximately 1/10 our mass. Laughter rippled across the bridge. The Eternal Dominion was 12 kilometers of pure military might, bristling with plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes. What could a 1/10 of their size possibly accomplish? Hail them, Vexthor ordered, amused. Let's see what primitive species has wandered into Imperial space. The view screen flickered. Instead of the expected insectoid or amphibian face, 2 humans appeared. The female stood slightly forward, her dark hair pulled back severely, brown eyes cold as the void itself. Behind her, a male with sandy hair and a disarmingly casual smile leaned against a console. I am Commander Vexthor of the Zalthari Empire, he announced grandly. You have entered Imperial territory. Surrender your vessel immediately and you may be permitted to— Yeah, we're gonna stop you right there, the human female interrupted. I'm Captain Elsa Chen of the UNSC Defiant. This system is under human protection as of 6 months ago. You're the ones trespassing. The bridge fell silent. Then someone snickered. Human? Vexthor accessed his databanks. Humans. The species that had just achieved faster-than-light travel a decade ago. They had exactly 0 star systems, no Imperial holdings, and their largest vessel was reportedly a converted mining ship. You claim to protect this system. With that shuttle, the male human, Mabel, according to the identification overlay, grinned wider. Oh, Commander. That's adorable. Elsa, he thinks we're flying a shuttle. Elsa's expression didn't change. Commander Vexthor, I'm giving you 30 seconds to turn your fleet around. After that, we consider your presence an act of war. Your presence is an act of comedy. Vexthor roared. Weapons officer, lock targets. Destroy that insect, sir. The weapons officer's voice cracked with genuine fear. I can't get a lock. They're locking us. Impossible. Vexthor stormed to the weapons console. The display showed something that defied 3 centuries of Imperial military doctrine. The human vessel, that tiny speck, had target locks on every single one of his 37 warships. Not just locks. Perfect locks on critical systems, shields, engines, weapons arrays, life support. They're jamming our targeting systems, the weapons officer whispered. I've never seen quantum encryption like this. It's 50 years beyond our technology. 20 seconds, Elsa announced calmly. This is a trick, Vexthor insisted, but doubt gnawed at his confidence. There's no way. Let me explain something about humans, Mabel interrupted, his casual tone somehow more terrifying than any threat. See, we're new to this whole space empire thing. Most species spend centuries on FTL theory, right? Not us. We went from splitting atoms to cracking the light barrier in 70 years. Know why? The bridge waited frozen. Because we're really good at killing each other, Mabel continued. While your species was figuring out space travel, we were perfecting genocide. World wars, nuclear weapons, autonomous drones that could track a single person across a continent. We nearly wiped ourselves out 6 times before we even left our solar system. 10 seconds, Elsa added. When humanity finally united and headed for the stars, Mabel said, we didn't bring our best scientists or philosophers. We brought our weapons designers. Every system on this ship was built by people who spent their entire lives figuring out how to kill other humans. The most paranoid, creative killers in the galaxy. Fire. Fire, Vexthor screamed. Nothing happened. Oh, sorry, Elsa said. Mabel, did you lock down their weapons? 3 minutes ago, Captain. Also their communications, engines, and I may have accidentally uploaded a virus that's currently giving their entire crew food poisoning through the atmospheric systems. Vexthor felt his stomach churn. Around him, officers were turning green. Here's what's going to happen, Elsa continued, her voice cutting through the chaos. You're going to limp back to your empire. You're going to tell them that humanity is off limits. Every single system we claim. This is one ship, Vexthor protested weakly. The Empire has thousands. And we have 300 million humans who grew up playing war simulators for fun, Mabel interrupted. We have children who can calculate ballistic trajectories in their heads because we turned math into a game about shooting aliens. We have a culture that makes heroes out of people who fight impossible odds. The Defiant suddenly appeared on visual scanners, and Vexthor's blood turned to ice. The ship was covered in weapon systems, some conventional, others using principles he couldn't even identify. But worse than the weapons were the markings. Tally marks, hundreds of them. Each mark is a ship that made the same mistake you're making, Elsa explained. We're a scout vessel, Commander. Imagine what our actual warships look like. You're bluffing, Vexthor whispered, but he didn't believe it. Maybe. Elsa smiled for the first time, and it was terrifying. Want to find out? Vexthor looked at his crew, sick, terrified, completely compromised. He thought of the Empire, its proud military tradition, its centuries of conquest. Then he thought of what this single human ship had done in under 5 minutes. Helm, he croaked. Reverse course. Maximum speed. Wise choice, Mabel said cheerfully. Oh, and Commander? Tell your Empire something for us. Tell them humans said hello, and tell them we're just getting started. The view screen went dark. The Eternal Dominion and its fleet limped away at maximum speed, leaving the system to its new protectors. Inside the Defiant, Mabel finally let out the breath he'd been holding. Think they bought it? Elsa checked her console. Our bluff worked. But it won't last forever. We need actual reinforcements in this sector within 6 months. Humanity always did work better with a deadline, Mabel grinned. Besides, you heard the man. We're really good at killing each other. Imagine what we can do when we actually work together. Elsa allowed herself a small smile. The galaxy has no idea what's coming. In the depths of space, a new power had announced itself, not with diplomacy or philosophy, but with the one language every species understood. Overwhelming, calculated. Human ingenuity turned toward war. The Galactic Empire would never be the same.